Coming up tonight on YCN News. A Grantham man is sentenced to 35 years in state prison. A 49-year-old homeless man from Claremont is found dead. And the U.S. Department of Justice charges a Jaffrey, New Hampshire landlord with discrimination. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Wednesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. A Grantham man will spend at least the next 35 years of his life in state prison for pleading guilty to murdering his wife. Judge Brian Tucker agreed with prosecutors that defendant James Perillo should serve that sentence. The case had been heading to trial with James Perillo facing a first-degree murder charge. In the last several weeks, however, a plea agreement was worked out between Perillo, his attorneys, and the State Attorney General's office. James and Natalie Perillo's 4 children would be spared having to testify in a murder trial about their parents. The case dates to April 26, 2012, when Perillo shot his wife 8 times with a gun. 7 bullets entered Natalie Perillo's body. Prosecutors say 3 bullets sunk into her head. In Newport Superior Court this morning, Senior Assistant Attorney General Jeffrey Strelzin outlined the charges facing James Perillo. The couple had been having marital problems. Strelzin said all that Natalie wanted to do was to leave their marriage behind, but James wasn't going to let that happen. About 40 of Natalie's friends and family were in the courtroom today to speak on her behalf. Nan Parsons, a colleague of Natalie Perillo's in the Lebanon School District where both women taught, spoke first. Parsons stood next to Bob LaFlamme, Sr., Natalie's father. Natalie's father told Judge Tucker that he agreed with the 35 years to life sentence. Natalie's mother, Anne LaFlamme, is raising the Perillos' 4 children. The Perillos' teenage daughter, Jillian, told the court today of the fear that remains inside of her, fear that she grew up with that her father would physically harm her mother with a knife. Defense attorney Steve Merkin spoke next, telling the court more details of the Perillos' money and marriage problems. At the time of the death, Natalie and James Perillo were in their 40s. Discussion in the courtroom turned again to the tape recording that James Perillo had listened to. It was a recording that James had secretly made of Natalie so that James could learn more about the affair he suspected Natalie was having with a 20-year-old young man in California. Strelzin said the recording may have infuriated James Perillo and that Perillo's rage led to the shooting of his wife. Strelzin also said he learned from the investigation that Natalie had told James not to listen to the recording. Defense attorney Merkin said it is not in human nature to ignore what James Perillo heard on the tape recorder. Merkin told the court that James Perillo was desperately trying to hold his family together. He was a person who had reached rock bottom, Merkin said of Perillo. Perillo spoke in court this morning, telling the judge that what he did was wrong and that he was sorry. Tucker told Perillo that he gave him credit for accepting responsibility. Due to the crime's serious nature, Tucker said the state's recommended sentence of 35 years to life was the right punishment. That sentence begins today. A 49-year-old homeless man from Claremont was found dead in the snow, Claremont Police Chief Alex Scott said Tuesday afternoon. Friends and family of Matthew Harriman had not seen or heard from Harriman in several days. The police were asked to check on Harriman, whom police knew to live in a tent near Maple Avenue. When police went to the area where Harriman was known to camp, officers found Harriman's body in the snow. An initial investigation leads police to believe Harriman's death was not suspicious, Scott said. Exposure to the weather is likely a factor, said Scott in a press release. Evening temperatures were in the single digits between Friday, December 13th, and Tuesday, December 17th. Claremont police ask anyone who may have been with or seen Harriman during those days to call the department. The phone number is 603-542-9533. After the break, we'll hear about the Jaffrey, New Hampshire landlord charged with discrimination and how you can help children in need this Christmas.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. The U.S. Department of Justice is charging a Jaffrey, New Hampshire landlord with discrimination. Bruce Edwards is facing a fair housing lawsuit for discriminating against families with children. Bruce Edwards is being sued as the owner and manager of rental apartments in Jaffrey, a Justice Department prepared statement notes. Edwards violated the Federal Fair Housing Act by threatening a man with eviction when the man's young daughter stayed with him on the weekends. The man, who is not named in the press release, had to find other arrangements for his child. The man had joint custody of his daughter. This caused financial and emotional hardship for the man, his child, and family. The lawsuit has been filed in U.S. District Court in New Hampshire and Concord. The suit alleges Edwards also has a discriminatory cause for tenants in a boarding house he owns. The clause stated children were not able to live there. Attempts to reach Edwards yesterday were not successful. The holiday spirit means reaching out to help others in need, especially children who may have a bleak Christmas. This is where you can help with the Toys for Tots campaign. Sponsored by the U.S. Marine Corps, donation boxes throughout the region give you the chance to make a child happy.
We are in the community room of the Claremont Savings Bank in Claremont, New Hampshire. We're in cooperation with the Kiwanis Club of Claremont. The first year that the Claremont Savings Bank decided to cooperate with the Kiwanis Club for the Kiwanis Cares, we provided the entrance way for those receiving gifts to pick them up, because the gifts have to come from a remote location at the bank to the front area. What happened, it was a cold, blustery day, and everybody was standing outside in their turn waiting to pick up their gifts. So what we decided to do is to welcome them into the bank and provide them with an atmosphere where they, while they were waiting, could have more of the Christmas spirit as part of the gift giving.
So last night upstairs, the Kiwanians were taking all the toys, sorting it out, sorting out the clothes, making sure that they numbered everything so there's no names. Everything's very private, and putting everything in bags so that the children don't actually see, and the parents will have the opportunity to get wrapper, to get some tape, to get gift tags, so they can wrap it up themselves from the parents or from Santa to the children. So that was happening last night. Tonight will be the actual Christmas party, the holiday party. So today the kids will come down to this beautiful community room, and again they'll see Santa and Mrs. Claus. They'll have their cookies, and they'll have an opportunity for a photo, and then the parents will pick up the gifts.
Kiwanis, their theme is to take care of children, and all of the funds that we raise during the course of the year is to give back to the children in some way. And we felt that the people in the community that are less fortunate and don't have the opportunity to have a nice Christmas or gifts, that they should have the opportunity to share in Christmas like everyone else. And the Kiwanis has had a nice partnership with the bank over the years, and we just wanted to enhance that feeling of not just giving them gifts to have for Christmas, but to provide them the environment with an activity that makes them feel more real as a Christmas.
I really think everybody benefits. I think we personally benefit because we're happy to provide this. The Kiwanians have been amazing. I think, they benefit. They do a fantastic job. It's personal rewarding. And I really think the community benefits because there'll be an amazing amount of people here tonight. And the children who do not have the Christmas parties are going to be allowed to come to a Christmas party. They'll sit on Santa's lap, get their picture taken. They'll hear a story from Mrs. Claus. So it's really a wonderful opportunity and a great Christmas gift.
This bank was formed over 100 years ago to serve the needs of the community, and not just the community, the people that are in the community. And it's a broad base because Sullivan County is a large area. We have operations or branches from Cornish down to Charlestown and in the immediate Claremont area. but we are here to help in the economic development of the area, and part of the economic development is the social development of the area. And we all live and work in this area, which is a support system for all the other businesses that are dealing with all the citizens in the area. And so one organization always supports the other organization.
For me, it's seeing the children come in and seeing Santa Claus and having hope. I think it's really personally rewarding. It really makes Christmas special.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow we'll get another break from the snow with a high of 36 degrees and lows in the 20s. But don't get too comfortable outside, because Friday we will have some sleet with highs and lows in the 30s. Saturday, make sure to bring an umbrella with you when you head out. We'll have a few showers with a high of 38 degrees and lows around 31. Sunday, we will have more rain with highs in the 40s and a low of 29 degrees. Monday, we will have mixed precipitation with highs in the 30s. And make sure to bundle up at night, as lows will drop to around 8 degrees. Winter solstice is almost here. Head over to the Brattleboro Museum and Art Center this Saturday for their solstice celebration starting at 4 p.m. Let's take a look at some local high school sports. Yesterday, there was a girls' basketball game at Hanover. The Hanover Marauders took on Goffstown last night. The final score was 68-53, with Hanover taking the victory. Tomorrow, check out another girls' basketball game. This game sees Kearsarge facing Conant. That game starts at 7 p.m. at Conant High School in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Come cheer on your local Kearsarge High School team.
Thank you for joining us for this Wednesday edition of YCN News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycnnow.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to hear some holiday cooking tips from Justin Dane at the Hanover Inn. I'm Rose Spillman for YCN, your local view. Good night.